Hi everyone. Myself Dr. S. Jawahar, Assistant Professor in Agronomy, Dr. M. S. Swaminathan Agricultural College and Research Institute, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University, Tanjavur, Tamil Nadu. Now I am going to highlight on weed management in natural farming. Definitions of weeds. Weeds are plant out of place in cultivated fields, lawns and other places. Jethro Tull 1731 coined that weeds are the plant which grow where they are not wanted. Weeds are unwanted and undesirable plants that interfere with the utilization of land and the water resources and thus adversely affect crop protection and human welfare. Characteristics of weeds. Weeds produces large number of seeds compared to crops. Weed seeds are smaller in size. Weed seeds germinate earlier and their seedling grow faster. Weeds flower earlier and mature ahead of the crop they invest. Weeds are having the capacity to germinate under varied soil and climatic conditions. Weed seeds possess the phenomenon of dormancy. Weed seeds do not lose their viability for years, even under adverse conditions. Weed seeds have extensive root system, which go deeper as well as of creeping type. Weed menace in agriculture. Weeds are an important factor in the management of all land and water resources, but its effects is greatest on agriculture. Reduction in crop yields and production efficiency is direct effect due to weeds. It varies depending upon the crop. Yield reduction due to weeds. In rice, yield reduction occur due to weeds up to 30 to 35%. In case of wheat, it is 15 to 30%. Yield reduction in maize, sorghum, pulses and oil seeds are 18 to 85%. In case of sugarcane, it is up to 38.8%. In cotton, 47.5%. Yield loss occur in sugar beet due to weeds is up to 48.4%. And higher yield reduction was observed in onion. It is up to 90.7%. Harmful effects of weeds. Weeds compete with the crops for water, soil nutrients, light and space and thus reduce the crop yield. An estimate shows that weed can deprive the crop 47% of nitrogen, 42% of phosphorus, 50% of potassium, 39% of calcium and 24% of magnesium of their nutrient uptake. Weeds are also act as alternate host for insects, pests and diseases and other microorganisms. Some weeds releases poisonous substance that may be harmful to human being and livestock. For example, Parthenium histophorus causes dermal toxicity to human being. When cattle browse Parthenium histophorus, it will cause death of the animals. Some weeds reduces the land value, that is Solanum elongifolium and Parthenium histophorus. It reduces the quality of marketable produce. Contamination of weed seeds is harmful to human health, and weed seeds present in the produce causes bad odor. Weeds not only reduce the yield but also interfere with the agricultural operation. Furthermore, they destroy native habitat, threatening native plants and animals. Importance of weed management. Weeds are the most important biotic constraint to agriculture protection and farmers' income in both developed and developing countries, particularly in developing countries like India. In general, weeds causes the highest potential yield loss to crops along with the pathogens and animal pests. The losses caused by weeds exceed the losses caused by any other category of agricultural pest. Of the total annual losses in agricultural produce, weeds accounts for 45%, insect pest 30%, disease 20% and other pest 5% only. Major classification of weeds. Out of 250,000 plant species, weeds constitute about 250 species, which are prominent in agricultural and non-agricultural systems. Under world condition, about 30,000 species is grouped as weeds. Weeds may be classified in the following ways: based on morphology, based on lifespan, based on ecological affinities, based on cotyledon number, based on soil pH, based on origin, based on their nature, based on nature of stem. Among them, weed classification based on morphology and based on lifespan is most important. Classification based on morphology. Based on the morphology of the plant, the weeds are also classified into three categories. This is the most widely used classification by all the weed scientists, which are grasses, sedges, and broadleaf weeds. Grasses. All the weeds come under the family Poaceae are called as grasses, which are characteristically having long, narrow, spiny leaves. The examples are Echinoclava colonum, Cyanodon dactylon, and Chloris barbata. Sedges. The weeds belonging to the family Cyperaceae come under this group. The leaves are mostly from the base having modified stem with or without tubers. The examples are Cypress rotundus, Fimbris talis miliaceae, broad-leaved weeds. This is the major group of weeds, as all other family weeds comes under this group, except that is discussed earlier. All dicotyledon weeds are broad-leaved weeds. The examples are Abutilon indicum, Digeria arvensis, based on lifespan. Based on lifespan, weeds are classified as annual weeds, biennial weeds, and perennial weeds. Annual weeds, those that live only for a season or year and complete their life cycle in that season or year, is called annual. These are small herbs with shallow roots and weak stem. The weeds produces seeds in profusion, and the mode of propagation is commonly through seeds. After seeding, the annuals die away and the seeds germinate and start the next generation in the next season or year following. Most common field weeds are annuals. The examples are monsoon annual, that is commonly named bengalensis; winter annual, that is Chenopodium album; biennials. It completes the vegetative growth in the first season, flower, and sets seeds in the succeeding season, and then die. These are found mainly in non-cropped areas. Example, Alternandra echinata, Dacus carota, perennials. Perennials live for more than 2 years and may live almost indefinitely. They adapted to withstand adverse conditions. They propagate not only through seeds but also by underground stem, root, rhizome, tubers, etc. Perennials are further classified into simple perennials, bulbous perennials, comb perennials, and creeping perennials. Simple perennials. Plants propagated only by seeds. Example, Sancus arvensis. Bulbous perennials. Plants which possess a modified stem with a scale and reproduce mainly from bulbs and seeds. Example, Allium species. Comb perennials. Plants that possess a modified shoot and a fleshy stem and reproduce through comb and seeds. Example, Timothy species. Creeping perennials. Plants propagated through seeds and also through underground root, stem. Creeping perennials reproduce through seeds as well as with one of the followings, that is rhizome, stolon, roots, tubers. Plants having underground stem, creeping perennials, reproduce through seeds as well as with one of the followings, rhizome. Plants having underground stem, example, Sorghum halepensis. Stolon. Plants having horizontal creeping stem above the ground, example, Cyanodon dactylon. Roots. Plants having enlarged root system with numerous bulb, example is Caunonolus arvensis. Tubers. Plants having modified rhizome adapted for storage of food. Example is Cypress rotundus. Effects of chemical weed control. The herbicides kill the weeds effectively, but when you are using the herbicide at a larger quantity in the same land year after year will cause environmental pollution. It kills the microorganisms present in the soil. Herbicides affects the aquatic ecosystem and causes water pollution. It kills many small fauna and affect aquatic food chain in the pond. Herbicides also affect coastal ecosystem and groundwater. Methods of weed management in natural farming. In natural farming, weed can be managed in 3 methods: preventive methods, cultural methods, and mechanical methods. Preventive methods includes use of weed-free seeds, selection of variety, Field scouting. Cultural methods includes crop rotation, cover crops, intercropping, planting pattern, and mulching. Mechanically, which can be managed by using conventional tillage, movers, hose, and harrows. Preventive methods. First we see about use of weed-free seeds. Use of clean seed that is free from weed seeds for sowing purpose. Inspect seeds, necessary stocks for the presence of weed seeds, tubers, rhizome, weed seedling, etc. The cropped area, field bunds, irrigation channels, etc. should be kept clean or free of weeds. And also the threshing yard to be kept free from weeds. And manure pits also kept free from weeds. Selection of variety. Careful selection of crop varieties is essential to limit weed problems and to satisfy market needs. Any crop variety that is able to quickly shade the soil between the rows is able to grow more rapidly, then the weeds will have an advantage. Field scouting. It involves the systematic collection of weeds and crop data from the field. The data includes weeds distribution, growth stage, population, crop stage, etc. The information is used in the short term to make immediate weed management decision to reduce or avoid economic crop loss. Cultural methods. The first one is crop rotation. Crop rotation is a farming practice wherein different crops are grown in a sequential pattern on the same land over successive season. It is an important strategy for developing a sound long-term weed control program. Weed germination and growth cycles are disturbed by variation in cultural practices associated with each crop. The cultural practices are tillage, planting dates, crop competition, etc. These practices affect the germination and the growth of weeds. The follow-up period in rotation will reduce perennial weeds. It is best to alternate legumes with the grasses, spring planter crops with the fall planter crops, row crops with the close planter crops, and heavy feeders with the light feeders. Cover crops. A cover crop is a plant that is used primarily to slow down erosion, improve soil health, enhance water availability, smother weeds, helps to control pests and diseases, and increase biodiversity and bring a host of other benefits to your farm. The rapid development and dense ground covering by the crops will suppress the weeds. The inclusion of cover crops such as rye, red clover, buckwheat, and oil seeds can suppress weed growth. The highly competitive crops may be grown as short duration smother crop within the rotation. In addition, decomposing cover crops residues may release allochemicals that inhibit the germination and development of weed seeds. The cover crops cover the soil surface, thereby it conserves the soil moisture, suppresses the weed growth, reduces soil erosion, and also it improves the soil fertility. The examples are black gram, green gram, cowpea, groundnut, etc. Intercropping. Intercropping is a practice of growing two or more crops in the same piece of land with row arrangement. Intercropping involves growing a smaller crop between rows of the main crop. Intercrops are able to suppress weeds and minimize soil erosion. When legumes are included as intercrop, it fixes atmospheric nitrogen in the soil and enhances soil fertility. The suitable intercrop for maize is black gram and for sunflower it is groundnut. Planting pattern, crop rotation, spatial arrangement, and the choice of cultivar can affect weed growth. For example, studies have shown the narrower width and higher seedling density will reduce the biomass of later emerging weeds by reducing the amount of light available for weeds located below the crop canopy. Similarly, the fast-growing cultivars can have a competitive edge over the weeds. Mulching. Mulching is a practice of covering the soil surface either by using organic or inorganic material. In natural farming, organic mulches are most suitable. Mulching or covering the soil surface can prevent weed seed germination by blocking light transmission. Living mulch. Living mulch is usually a plant species that grows densely and low to the ground, such as clover. Living mulches can be planted before or after a crop is established. It does not compete with the actual crop. A living mulch of Portulaca oligacea from broadcast before transplanting broccoli suppressed the weeds without affecting crop yields. Organic mulches. Organic mulches are those natural origin material which can decompose naturally, like agricultural waste, which are used as mulch, such as bark chips, grass clipping, wheat or paddy straw, plant leaves, compost, rice hulls, and sawdust, etc. It decays over time and it increases the water holding capacity of the soil. The materials such as straw, bark, and compost material can provide effective weed control. Producing the material on the farm is recommended since the cost of purchased mulches can be prohibitive depending on the amount needed to suppress weed emergence. The third method is mechanical methods. Mechanical removal of weeds is both time consuming and labor intensive, but it is the most effective method for managing weeds. The choice of implementation, timing, and frequency will depend on the structure and the form of the crop and the type and the number of weeds. Mechanical weeders include cultivating tools such as hoes, harrows, tines, and brush weeders, cutting tools like movers, and dual-purpose implements like thistle bar are used for managing weeds. Implements such as fixed harrows are most suitable for arable crops for effective control of weeds. Allelopathy. Allelopathy is the direct or indirect chemical effect of one plant on the germination, growth, or development of neighboring plant. Allelochemicals are produced by plants as end products, byproducts, and metabolites liberated from the plants. Allelochemicals belong to phenolic acid, flavonoids, and other aromatic compounds, while terpenoids, steroids, alkaloids, and organic cyanides. Allelopathy is now commonly regarded as component of biological control of weeds. Species of both crops and weeds exhibit this ability. Strategy to use allelopathy for weed management. Application of allelopathic plant as mulch material suppress the germination and the growth of weeds. Allelopathic crops include sorghum, sunflower, barley, rye, annual ryegrass, buckwheat, oat, Sudan sorghum hybrid, alfalfa, wheat, and red clover. The allelopathic vegetables are horseradish, carrot, and radish releases powerful allelopathic chemicals from their roots. This allelochemical inhibit the germination of wheat seeds. The weeds such as Lantana camara inhibit the germination of wheat seed. It can be used as a mulch material. Allelochemicals and other natural products or their derivatives could form the basis of bioherbicide. In our earlier study, we found the use of eucalyptus oil for controlling the Parthenia histophorus. Spraying of eucalyptus oil at 1% concentration effectively controlled Parthenia histophorus seedlings. Allelopathic plants not only suppress and physically destroy the weeds, it also releases nutrients to the soil after decomposition. Mechanism action of allelochemicals on weeds. The allelochemicals interferes on weeds germination. Allelochemicals interfere cell division and cell elongation of wheat seeds. It interferes with the photosynthesis. Allelochemicals affect the respiration of wheat seeds. Allelochemicals interfere with the mineral ion uptake. It also interferes with the protein and nucleic acid metabolism. Thereby, the allelochemicals effectively are similar to herbicide. The allelochemicals inhibit the seed germination and respiration of weeds. Thereby, it effectively controls the weeds. Integrated weed management in natural farming. And integrated weed management may be defined as the combination of two or more weed control practices at low input level to reduce weed competition in a given cropping system below the economical threshold level. Integrated weed management approach aims at minimizing the residue problem in plant, soil, air, and water. And integrated weed management involves the utilization of a combination of cultural, mechanical, and biological practices of weed management in a planned sequence, so designed as not to affect the ecosystem. Advantages of integrated weed management. It shifts the crop weed competition in favor of crops. Integrated weed management prevents weed shift towards perennial nature. Integrated weed management practices prevents resistance in weeds to herbicides. There is no danger of herbicide residue in the soil or plant. Integrated weed management are eco-friendly, thereby no environmental pollution. Due to integrated weed management practices, we can minimize the cost of cultivation, thereby we can get higher net return from the farm. It is most suitable for higher cropping intensity. Conclusion. Weeds are major threat for crop protection and a challenge for successful natural farming. Adopting of effective weed management practices will enhance the crop productivity and income of the farmers involved in natural farming. In addition to the growing concern for protection of environment, maintain biodiversity, and the protection of human and animal health, integrated weed management approaches are needed and more of research efforts are required to develop low-cost and environment-friendly weed management practices without altering the core concepts of natural farming. Thank you.